Free your mind. Hello everyone, my dear companions on this journey of life, which is full of surprises. Have you ever felt that even when life seems fine, you have a job, a family, relationships, but deep down in your mind, there's still something heavy, constantly weighing you down? It's not a specific problem, but perhaps a tangled mess of thoughts, nameless worries, expectations from others, or invisible pressures we put on ourselves. It's like carrying an invisible backpack, getting heavier with each negative thought, each fear, each regret, and each unnecessary comparison. At some point, you feel tired, sluggish, and even lose joy in the smallest things in life. Today, we're going to sit down together, take a deep breath, and explore how to release those burdens, to free our minds, and find true peace and joy in every moment. Not just empty words, but concrete strategies, real-life examples, suitable for all ages, from young people struggling with social pressure, to middle-aged adults facing the worries of adulthood. Learning how to release the burdens of overthinking is extremely important for both young and middle-aged people in the U.S. due to its profound impact on mental health and quality of life. According to a study from the American Psychological Association, unmanaged stress and anxiety are leading causes of health problems, both physical and mental, especially in younger individuals, who often face academic, career, and social media pressures. For middle-aged adults, the burden of thoughts often comes from family responsibilities, career, and significant life changes. Releasing these burdens not only reduces the risk of stress-related illnesses like heart disease or digestive disorders, but also significantly improves sleep quality, energy, and decision-making ability. A study published in the Journal of Psychiatry showed that practicing mindfulness and letting go techniques helps enhance mental resilience and reduce symptoms of depression. When the mind is free, we can connect better with those around us, enjoy life more fully, and most importantly, find peace within ourselves. So, how can we release these burdens so that our minds can be freer and lighter? Let's dive into each liberation strategy. 1. Identify and name the burden. You can't solve what you can't see. The first step to letting go of anything is to recognize its presence. Often, we just feel heavy, but we don't know exactly what's weighing us down. That feeling remains vague, and that very vagueness makes us even more anxious. Why is identification important? Because when you can name a problem, you gain a part of its power. It's no longer a monster hiding in the shadows, but something clearly present, and you can begin to deal with it. According to cognitive psychologists, labeling emotions and thoughts helps us process them more effectively, reducing their negative intensity. Example in a work setting. You're a young employee. Your boss just assigned a very difficult new project. You start to feel anxious, but you're not sure exactly what you're anxious about. You just keep thinking, I can't do this. Gradually, you realize the burden isn't the difficult project, but the fear of not meeting your boss's expectations, or the fear of being judged poorly by colleagues. When you can name it, so it's fear of failure, you can start asking yourself, what can I do to reduce this fear? Who can I ask for help? Instead of letting it overwhelm you. Example in a family setting. A middle-aged mother feels very tired with childcare and household chores, but keeps thinking, everyone is like this. So she doesn't voice it. The burden piles up until she feels exhausted. Then one day, she realizes the burden isn't too much to do, but the feeling of not being shared with, not being acknowledged. Once she identifies that, she can talk to her husband, her children. I'm feeling overwhelmed because I don't have enough help. Can we rearrange things together? So often, correctly naming an emotion opens the door to a solution. Concrete action. Every evening, dedicate 5 minutes to a mind check. Asking yourself, what's weighing on me the most today? Write it down, even if it's just a word or a short sentence. Don't judge, just acknowledge. Imagine you're gently lifting each stone out of your backpack. 2. Question your thoughts. Is every thought the truth? We often tend to believe every thought that appears in our minds unconditionally, treating them as self-evident truths. But are all of them true? Many burdens stem from distorted thoughts, false beliefs, or worst-case scenarios that we create ourselves. Why is questioning important? Because it helps us detach from our thoughts, viewing them more objectively. This is a core technique in cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, helping to identify and challenge negative thoughts. When you stop treating thoughts as absolute truths, you gain the power to change them. Example in a work setting. A young person makes a small mistake in a report and immediately thinks, I'm useless. I'm going to get fired. This burden is truly overwhelming. But if you pause and ask, is this true? Does one small mistake mean I'm useless and will be fired? Has anyone else made a similar mistake and been fine? You'll realize that it's just an exaggerated thought of fear, not the truth. Example in a family setting. A middle-aged child feels their parents, Gen X, Boomer, don't understand them, and thinks, they'll never change. I just have to put up with it. This burden is despair. But if you ask, is it really true that they'll never change? How many ways have I tried to communicate? Is there any other way I haven't tried? You might realize that maybe you haven't truly found the right approach, or that they might change if you open up more. Concrete action. When a negative thought appears, ask yourself, is there any evidence for this? Is this the only way to look at the problem? If my friend, loved one were in this situation, what would I advise them? Questioning helps you create a distance, a space to breathe before being swept away by the thought. 3. Embrace imperfection. Life is a tapestry, not a straight line. A big burden we often carry is the expectation that we and everything must be perfect, must go our way. Perfect in work, perfect as a parent, perfect in relationships. But life always has surprises, mistakes, and things beyond our control. Why is embracing imperfection important? Because the pursuit of perfection is a path to disappointment and exhaustion. When you accept that things don't have to be perfect, you free yourself from unnecessary pressure. This also relates to the concept of mindfulness, living fully in the present, accepting things as they are, without judgment. Example in a work setting. A recent college graduate always wants every report, every email to be perfect, without a single error. That makes them spend a lot of time and constantly feel stressed. Instead of being efficient, releasing the burden of perfection doesn't mean being sloppy, but accepting that good enough is enough. And sometimes, learning from mistakes is more valuable than never making one. Example in a family setting. A middle-aged couple always wants their children to get good grades, get into prestigious schools, follow a perfect path they've laid out. When their children don't achieve it, they feel disappointed and pressure their children. But if they accept that each child is a unique individual, with their own path, they'll feel lighter. And their relationship with their children will also become healthier. Because they've released the burden of control. Concrete action. Allow yourself to make small mistakes every day. And learn to forgive yourself. Practice self-compassion. Viewing your own weaknesses with understanding. Not judgment. When you do something, tell yourself, I've done my best given my current ability. 4. The power of letting go, detaching from what you can't control. We often worry about things beyond our control. What others think of us. Future events. Or the past that's already gone. These worries are like trying to hold onto grains of sand in your hand. The tighter you try to grasp them, the more they slip through your fingers. And the more frustrated you feel. Why is letting go important? Because when we accept that some things are beyond our control, we free up energy to focus on what we can control, which is our attitude and actions. Letting go is not giving up, but accepting reality. Example in a work setting. You're a young Gen Z new hire. And you're worried about how your boss will evaluate you. You constantly think about what your boss might say. This burden is immense, but you can't control your boss's thoughts. You can only control the quality of your work and your attitude. When you let go of the worry about what others think, you'll focus better on your work. And paradoxically, that's the best way to make an impression. Example in a family setting. A millennial child worries about their aging parents, Gen X, health. You want your parents to eat this way, exercise that way, but they don't listen. This burden is constant helplessness and worry. But you can't fully control your parents' health. You can only love, care for, and encourage them. When you let go of the need to control everything, you'll be able to be with your parents more lightly, enjoying the present moments. Concrete action. Make a 2-column list. Things I can control, and things I cannot control. Then, focus all your energy on the first column. And for the second column, tell yourself, I'm going to let this go. I can't control it. There's a saying, change your attitude if you can't change the situation. That's the spirit of letting go. 5. Fill your mental account with positivity. As you sow, so shall you reap. To release burdens, we need to fill our minds with positive things. Like a cup. If you want to remove dirty water, you have to pour in clean water. Burdens often thrive in an environment of negativity, criticism, and focusing on shortcomings. Why is this important? Because our brains tend to remember negative things more strongly than positive ones, negativity bias. To counteract that, we need to actively train our minds to seek out and acknowledge the good. This helps boost happiness hormones and optimism. Example in a work setting. Instead of just focusing on stressful deadlines. Small mistakes. Take time to acknowledge small successes. Compliments from colleagues. Or moments of effective work. If you're a Gen Z trying to learn, acknowledge your progress, however small. Example in a family setting. Instead of just complaining about meals you don't like or nagging from your spouse. Remember the warm meals, the caring gestures, the smiles, or the beautiful memories you've shared. If you're a millennial busy with children, take a moment each day to appreciate their presence, their innocence. Concrete action. Every day. Dedicate 5 to 10 minutes to practicing gratitude. Thinking about at least 3 things you're grateful for that day. No matter how small, a good cup of coffee, a call from a friend, a beautiful sunny afternoon. Practice mindfulness by focusing on pleasant sensations, deep breathing, savoring food, listening to music. Limit exposure to negative news sources. and seek out inspiring content, fueling an anxious mind, nutrition supporting letting go, serenity, and focus towards happiness. The mind and body are one. What you eat directly affects your mood, energy, and ability to cope with stress. A scientific diet won't let go for you, but it will provide a solid foundation for your mind to perform that process more easily, helping you enhance memory and concentration. To remember these tips and apply them to your daily life most effectively. Eating to nourish the mind. Foods for serenity and clear thinking. Tryptophan-rich foods. This amino acid is a precursor to serotonin, an important neurotransmitter that helps regulate mood, sleep, and reduce anxiety. When your mood is stable, letting go of negative thoughts becomes easier. Sources: turkey, eggs, pumpkin seeds, cashews, milk, salmon. Mechanism: tryptophan is converted to serotonin in the brain. Small tip: a warm glass of milk before bed, or adding turkey to your salad. Probiotics: gut health is closely linked to brain health, the gut-brain axis. A healthy gut microbiome can positively affect mood and reduce stress, helping the mind more easily let go. Sources: yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut. Mechanism: beneficial bacteria in the gut produce substances that affect the brain and nervous system. Small tip: start your day with a plain yogurt. Magnesium: this relaxing mineral helps regulate the nervous system, reduce tension, and improve sleep quality. When the body and mind are well rested, the ability to let go of worries increases. Sources: dark leafy greens, spinach, kale, pumpkin seeds, almonds, avocado, dark chocolate. Mechanism: involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions, including those related to relaxation and brain function. Small tip: snack on a handful of pumpkin seeds or enjoy a piece of dark chocolate, over 70% cacao. Antioxidants: protect brain cells from damage due to stress and inflammation, helping maintain good cognitive function and a positive mood, so you can think clearly and let go more easily. Sources: berries, blueberries, strawberries, colorful vegetables, bell peppers, carrots, broccoli, green tea. Mechanism: neutralize harmful free radicals. Small tip: drink green tea instead of coffee or add more berries to your breakfast. Omega-3 fatty acids have been shown to support brain function, reduce inflammation, and have a positive effect on mood and anxiety symptoms. Helps maintain calmness and focus when the mind is trying to let go. Sources: salmon, mackerel, sardines, walnuts, flax seeds. Mechanism: key component of brain cell membranes, improves nerve signal transmission. Small tip: try to eat fatty fish at least twice a week, or take fish oil supplements if needed. Nutritional advice and warnings: nutrition is a foundation, but not a cure-all. If you are struggling with overwhelming thought burdens, or have symptoms of prolonged depression or anxiety, seek help from a mental health professional. A healthy diet will support this process, but cannot replace therapy or medication if needed. Always consult a doctor or registered dietitian before making significant dietary changes, especially if you have underlying health conditions. Before you listened to these shared insights, perhaps you felt like you were stuck in an endless loop of thoughts. A nameless heaviness, perhaps an underlying anxiety about the future, regret about the past, or the pressure to be perfect. Sometimes you felt a weariness, sluggishness, and even lost joy in what seemed like the smallest things. You might have wondered, is there any way for my mind to find more peace? But after we've explored these strategies together, I hope you'll feel a gradual sense of relief. Like a burden slowly being lifted from your shoulders. You'll feel inspired, empowered to re-examine your thoughts. To know that you can release what doesn't serve your peace of mind. You'll feel that peace is no longer a distant concept, but a state you can find right within yourself. Through concrete actions, however small, every day, the elders say, to have light, one must accept darkness. This means that to find peace, we must dare to face the burdens in our thoughts, identify them, and then let go. Our grandparents often taught, when the mind is at peace, all things are at peace. Meaning when our minds are tranquil, everything around us will become easier. And we will have a more positive outlook on life. There's a piece of advice from those who came before us that says, everything has its reason. Don't cling too much. This is very true for letting go of negative thoughts. Sometimes we need to accept that some things simply are, and trying to fight them only brings suffering. Go with the flow of the wind is not about being random, but about flexibility, the ability to adapt to circumstances, and letting go of unrealistic expectations, to allow the mind to be freer, bringing it all together. The path to inner peace. Releasing the burdens of thought is a journey, not a destination. It requires patience, self-compassion, and consistent practice every day. From identifying and naming what's weighing on your mind, questioning automatic thoughts, embracing life's imperfections, to letting go of what you can't control, and filling your soul with gratitude. All are important steps on the path to finding peace and joy. Especially in a busy and high-pressure society like the US. Learning how to free your mind is a vital life skill, helping you not just survive but truly thrive. Specific actions to learn from or be cautious about. To learn, start a letting go journal to record burdensome thoughts and how you cope with them. Practice meditation or mindfulness for 10 to 15 minutes daily to enhance your ability to observe thoughts without getting carried away. Find a trusted friend or a professional to share burdens that you find difficult to resolve on your own. Learn to say no to unnecessary requests or expectations to protect your mental energy. To be cautious. Beware of comparing yourself to others, especially on social media, as that's a huge source of burden. Avoid replaying negative thoughts repeatedly in your head. Identify them and try to shift your attention to something else. Don't force yourself to be always happy or always positive. Allow yourself to feel negative emotions, but don't wallow in them. Don't hesitate to seek professional help if you feel overwhelmed or these burdens significantly impact your life. Remember, the elders say, what cannot be changed? Change your attitude. That is the essence of freeing your mind. Don't expect immediate change. This is a long process. And every small step forward is worth acknowledging. Be kind to yourself. Treat your mind as you would treat a dear friend who is struggling. Dear friends, the journey of freeing your mind and finding peace is a gift you give to yourself and to those around you. When you release your burdens, you'll have more space to welcome joy, love, and wonderful things waiting for you. Don't hesitate to share your successful experiences of letting go of burdens, or any strategies you found effective, in the comments section below. Or do you have any questions about freeing your mind? Our community is here to learn and support each other. And if you found this video helpful and want to discover more secrets to a fulfilling, happy life, and a peaceful soul. Don't forget to hit the like button. Share this video with those you think might need it. And especially subscribe to my channel today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next videos.